Comfort. And today we have Amuduchi Samuel. Thank you for coming again.
You're welcome.
And today we are going to be talking about studying. Should we study smarter or harder? Simon is going to tell us which is beneficial to students. Is it studying smarter or harder? So Simon.
Well, thank you for having me one more time. And study smart or study hard, which is beneficial for students. I feel that is one thing students should actually know. Even before they start studying, before they start preparing for examination and the lines. Either to study smart or to study hard. But before I delve into that, one thing I always tell people, one thing that works for me is how to study. Do you understand what works for me? How would I be able to study? How would I be able to read? How would I be able to assimilate? And it will not give me issues. How would I be able to do all of this? And how at the end of the day, I'll be able to, score good grades. So I would say study smart and not hard. Just like they say, work smart and not work hard. You can be working hard 24/7. You can be working like a donkey, like a horse. You understand? All through the day, you are doing blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, you are making pennies. You understand? And you can also work smart. Channel all those energy and resources into what you know will be beneficial. You are going to be jack of all trades and master of all, not master of none. So it also applies in academics. For instance, as a student, when you want to study for examination, the first thing you should put into consideration is, okay, what works for me? Am I the kind of person that reads in the night? Am I the kind of person that don't joke on my sleep? Am I the kind of person that in the afternoon, that is when I can read? Am I the kind of person that when there's noise, that is when I can sleep? You need to know the kind of person you are before you start, so that you know the time at which or in which your brain will be able to assimilate all that is taken in. You understand? Like they said, we're only using about 10% of our brain. So the brain can actually take in a lot. We just have to know the right time to pour all these things in. For someone like me, I don't joke about sleep. I go for it. No, I don't know how to read in the night. I've tried it 100 level days. I'll wake up 12, put my leg inside water, do all those things. But I'll just be struggling. I might read for an hour or two, but when I wake up in the morning, I will have to even go back. I'll have to reread, or I'll read what I've read again. So when I, try to figure, okay, what actually works for me? I figured that when I wake up in the morning around say 5, 6, that is when my brain assimilates a lot. That is when it's fresh, and that is when I can take in anything. So when I realized that, I now started, reading smart, not reading hard. I was studying smart because I know, okay, from the hours of 5 to like 8 or 9, I can take in whatever I can take in. Unlike me waking up in the night and reading blah, 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 and there's nothing to show for it. So students need to understand their study power or their study technique. What work for me will not work for me. Also, like my friend in the night, he doesn't sleep. He will read once we are done. He might sleep in the afternoon, but once it's night, around maybe 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, he's reading. And maybe he sleeps in the morning. He sleeps around maybe 5, 6. That is when me we want to start reading. You understand? So we're two different people, but we know what works for us. So we're not studying hard. At the end of the day, some people will go for night classes, Pesito will bite them, they will lose their phone. In the process, at the end of the day, even that thing that you brought away, you still feel it. So what's that the essence? But once you've calculated it and you know, oh, this was for me. I mean, you are already studying smart. So I feel as a student, you need to know that Studying smart is way better. It's ease you of some unnecessary stress. It makes you comfortable in reading as a student. That's what I feel.
Okay, thank you for that beautiful motion. So I'll ask again, what's your say on a study group?
No matter how intelligent the teacher is or the lecturer is, they will not still understand. But once they're in the midst of their friends, maybe about 4 to 5 friends, and they're like, you know, brainstorming, talking about what they discussed earlier, like the tutorial. This person is saying, this person is saying, this person is saying. They like pick from different people. That's how they will eventually know that particular subject. You understand? So a study group for that kind of person is beneficial. It's productive. Study group is good. You mean I have my friends, just my friends and I, that we study together, and what I know, you will have another definition or another meaning to what I know. So I'll tap from yours, you tap from mine. Already have two definitions. It's just like saying, I should define a bottle of water, or a bottle rather. If I would define a bottle, it will be different from the one you define. There will be another definition from you, from another person. So, as a study group, I might end up having about 4 definitions. You understand? But it works for people like that. And there's some set of people that they don't know how to read. Just their one man with home, just themselves. Once they're in the midst of people, they don't know how to communicate. They don't like studying. But really, I would say a study group is not bad. It's great because it helps students, to express themselves more and to, when they're amongst their mates, they can tell each other. I don't understand. Unlike when it's a big class, they don't want to feel, embarrassed or ashamed.
Thank you for that beautiful response. So you as a person, did you have a study group where you study?
Yes, I did. Yes, it was just my friends and I. From 100 level, we've been reading together. If I got to a point that once one person is not around, it's really hard for us to read. We got so used to each other that was a thing. And if you don't read together, that's a big problem. Though after reading together, each of us will go home individually and read on our own. But our first reading will be collectively. So we are going to, how will I put it now? We'll break it down into tiny pieces, into tiny particles. So we'll know that when we go home to our individual places, we'll just be arranging it ourselves. We would have already done the hard work or the difficult stuff to do. So I had one and it was beneficial, trust me.
So you're saying we should, as students, we should study smarter and not harder.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure.
And we've come to the end of today's episode on Campus Compact. See you again next episode.